Right, I'm hoping today that people can see my screen. Like I said, I apologize for the other day. I'm sure it's down to the weather. Like I said, we've got this typhoon, so I'm hoping somebody at least can see my screen as we speak now. So, right, this flowchart. David within the group asked me, because I believe David's totally new at this business, and no better time to start than now. What's the process? How do I start? And Dave wasn't the only one that's been asking this, and so and it's good to follow a process. You know, it's like, where's the best place to start? Well, obviously the best place to start is at the beginning, and there are logical steps you need to take in order to flow through that. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and zoom in a little bit, make this a little bit bigger, and just pan around the screen where I can. So basically, this is a flow chart for white label stroke private label. Now, we've had this conversation. White label is where you find a product on Banggood, on Alibaba, or anywhere else you're going to source it from, and you stick your own label on it, or you put your own packaging together for it. Private labeling is where you've got your silicone spatula and you're producing your own handle. So it's your design, your product. So that's the only difference there. But in essence, that's basically what we're doing. Selling our own branded product. Okay. So where do we start? At the start. How do you pick a product? So basically what you need to do next is pick a product to sell. And there's various different techniques that we've shown you and going through that. So what I'm not doing here is going into detail. What I'm doing is basically following a logical step with respect to how to do things, getting from the start up to your product listing and onwards. Okay, so pick a product to sell. All right, that's step one. So basically how to do that is initial research. Now you can either do that through a manual search, through AmaSuite, ASIN Inspector, or any other product out there that gives you a similar result. Okay, initial analysis of the data. Now again, you can run that. Now you've already got the super product selector sheet. You've got Jungle Scout. You've got other programs out there that allow you to have a look at the data that your shortlist, right, or certainly the software or the manual search has provided. Now, what I like to do is get a short list of about 5 products that you can go on to do further analysis on. So we've now got a short list of at least 5 products. 5 products is just my preference. You can have 10, you can have 20. Don't get too many, because there's a lot of work to start analyzing and going through some of the actions that you need to establish to work out what is a good product, what's not a good product. So basically, once you've got your short list and say, okay, I like these 5 products in these different categories, or one category, or whatever the case may be, what next? You need to try and find a supplier. Now, that supplier can come from the likes of Alibaba, AliExpress, Banggood, or any other of these sort of wholesalers. That can be in China. It can be in the States. It can be anywhere. So basically what you need to try and do is find a supplier for the product you picked. Now, if you're going down the beauty line where you're trying to find a rejuvenated cream, that has to come from the sort of America. If you're doing supplements, again, that needs to be a local source. If you're doing more hardware type products, go with China. And there's various different things we talk about on how to do that within the course itself. So basically, once you have selected a number of different suppliers, look at the data from those suppliers. Now, what I mean by data is look at the cost of each product. So the silicone spatulas, there are thousands of suppliers in China that will be able to provide you with silicone spatulas of different sizes, shapes, colors, and all sorts. Pick the one that you like, have a look at different suppliers, have a look at the costs, have a look at the lead times, have a look at the MOQ, minimum order quantity. Are they able to private label or brand, or they may say able to OEM, you know, original equipment manufacturer, which is you, okay? That's your aspect. Are they able to do that? get that list together. Make sure that you've got the right data to move forward. There's no point in finding the right price if they say lead time 3 months, okay, or the lead time is 2 days, but the price is 10 times more than anybody else. Yes, there needs to be a balance. So you need to look at the data that you're actually gathering, work out what the best supplier for you is. Not necessarily is all cost driven. Now, Leslie will tell you this. Yeah, she's had some samples in. You know, she looked at a number of different suppliers. The suppliers look good. They come back with the right questions, right answers, right feedback, right information. In other words, the data was looking pretty good. She had a number of different suppliers for the same product. She get the samples in, and lo and behold, the cheapest guy was not necessarily the best guy. The most expensive guy wasn't necessarily the best guy from a quality standpoint. Yeah, so you need to have a look at these. Now, this is where we're talking about select a product and have one as a backup. Yeah, so if you're looking at different products, so you're the silicon spatula, you're looking at the garlic press, you're looking at the lemon zester, you've got all of the data for all of these products, and you like the one better than the other, right, stick with that one product, but have another one as a backup. So you go with your lemon zester, but you have your garlic press as your backup, for example. Right, so then you start to look at getting samples for the number of different suppliers for that one product that you've selected. So lemon zester, there are going to be a number of different suppliers that you've already talked to, well, maybe not talked to, but you certainly got the analysis from, i.e. from their website, or you've emailed them and they've sent the right information into you. Now's the time to get some samples from those guys, whether it be 2 suppliers to 5 suppliers. Get your samples in. Get your samples in, because it's not until you actually feel the quality, the product, and you use it, that then you can actually make your mind up with respect to, you know what, this product here that I've got in my hand right now is the one that I'm happy to sell. You know, because on the picture, the photographs they all might look similar. One may feel different, maybe at different weights. You know, maybe the cut is different, maybe the grip is different. Yeah, but you will find the right product. You know, maybe from a quality standpoint, maybe you have to go back to them and say, I really like your product, but you know, there's little imperfections here. You know, so how about when it comes to production? You know, how can you ensure that everything's going to be okay? And if they can't, then obviously move on to the next one. If they can, get some assurance, and then okay, it may be worthwhile getting in that trial order in. So basically, once you've got your samples, evaluate which product you like, and then go back and negotiate the best terms. And the best terms, not necessarily beating the supplier up a price. Yeah, that's not what I'm meaning here. Yes, there's no harm in trying to ask for a better price, but price is not always the best term you can get. You know, you're talking about increasing quality for more price. Yeah, when I'm talking about more price, it's a few cents. You know, ask the guy, right, this product here is really good, but have you got one with a little bit heavier, a little bit thicker, a little bit lighter, a little bit, a little bit different? Yeah, yes, we have, sir, madam, but it's going to cost a little bit more because that's our premium range. Well, how much more is it? Another 5 cents. It's a no-brainer. Give me that. There's no problems. What about lead time? What can you do on lead time? 3 months is not good enough. I need it in 4 weeks. Okay, compromise 6 weeks. Job done. So negotiate, talk. Yes, these suppliers will talk. MOQ, I'm not happy with 1,000. Okay, there's no problems. The way around that is, I'm happy enough, sir, Mr. Supplier, with 1,000, but initially, I don't know you. Yeah, I don't know you as a supplier. So what we're, us as a company, what we're likely to do is more than happy to order a first trial batch of 250, of 1,000, of whatever the case may be, so you can get your MOQ down. And then once we're happy with the quality, once we're proven that your product is able to sell within our store, then a second order, we've got no problems with ordering your MOQ. But we're not able to order the first MOQ to start with because we don't know the quality of the goods. Yes, you sent me a sample, but how do I know that's not your golden sample? That's not the best product in the whole factory that you sent me. So that's an easy way to negotiate your first trial order batch. Is company policy. Okay, research listings. And all I'm talking about this is go and have a look at the competitors. What's the first page looking like? Now, we've done some of this from a listing point of view. Take the first 5 of your competitors, copy their listing, from word to word. Have a look at the keywords. Do some keyword research and analysis. Work out what works, what doesn't work. And there's a number of different tools out there. Merchant Words. If you haven't got Merchant Words, it's been on $9 for a long time, and I'm sure it's still there. I haven't checked lately. It's a great tool, a free tool. AdWords. Sign up for an AdWords account. Doesn't cost you anything. And go in there and have a look at the keyword generating tool in there. Have a look on Amazon. Type in your keyword followed by 1, 2, A, B, C, and that will give you the suggested keywords. So do some research. Have a look at your listing while you're waiting for your products to come over. Okay, prepare the best photographs and images you can. This is one of the lessons that I learned from my first listing with those spoons. I thought, I've got myself a nice little camera here. This is cool. Not a real photographer, but I can do it. And I took some shots and I put them up. Were they any good? In comparison, no, they weren't. Get the best photographs done. I just had some done in China. They cost me 25 cents per image for a professional photographer. They've come out really, really well. Very happy. If you're not happy with them, you can always get them into someone like Kenny or somebody else that will manipulate your images and bring them in line with the TOS of Amazon. All of this is being done while your product is being shipped. Okay, generate your listing. Make sure your front end is crisp and clean. Make sure your back end is full of information. Back end, I'm talking about all of the description, extra information, your keywords in your back end, everything like this. And don't forget to name your photographs, name your images before you put them up. If you've got a lemon zester, call it best lemon zester. Call your next photograph zester of lemons. Call your next photograph. But whatever some of the keywords are, name your photographs with your keywords. Okay, because not a lot of people do that, or not everybody does that. But it's one way of getting search results through Google and other places outside of Amazon. Get verification of products are fit to be sent out. Now, this is where you're basically ordering your product. I was getting ahead of myself then. While it's being made or put together, when you get confirmation from your supplier, so okay, then you need to now pay me the rest of the 70% because I'm going to send your products out. Don't just take their word for it. Get either a third-party inspection that you can get an inspection company to do it for $100, or you can get somebody on Skype and say, excellent, right, now Skype, and let's show me the products. Show me around the workshop. Pick that product up there and show me, and just pull a random sample out of your products so you can have a look at them. They can hold them up to the video screen. A lot of these guys out in China have got all the smartphones. They've got when I was living in China, I used to buy smartphones every 3 months. Okay, and I never used to buy a Nokia. I used to buy a Nokia. I never used to buy a Samsung. I had a Samsung. Same deal, but I could afford to buy them every 3 months. All of these guys out there have got them. So there's no excuse. You can jump onto Skype. They can show you your products. Yes, if you're happy. If you're not happy, get a third party in there. It doesn't cost a lot of money.
Hey, by the way, it's kind of like, when people, that you've heard that terminology where they get catfish, where basically they meet someone online and the other person's not who they say they are, and then they have this relationship with them. It's kind of like you're getting catfished is what they call it. But if you let that happen in this day and age, then you probably deserve to have that happen to you. And my point is that everybody has a cell phone in their pocket. I don't care what country it is, where especially people are doing business. You're right. If you want to learn something from them, tell them to pull out their thing and go down and walk around their factory. Go down and, hey, I want you to take pictures and show me video of your product. Paul and I talk all the time on Skype, and I'm riding down the interstate at 70 miles an hour talking to somebody in the Philippines. It is technology's there, so there's no reason you can't get your eyes on stuff. As well as we always encourage, spend $100 to $150 to have your product touched before it leaves China. It will save you more grief than you possibly could understand.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely. So once you've got them verified, right, the next step is obviously get the product sent to either your premises or direct to FBA. Now, depending on where you are in the world, sometimes it's a little bit easier just to send them direct into FBA. If you're doing that, make sure that the product is fit to be received by FBA. Don't send your product in with the chance that the FBA are going to be rejecting them because they've got nowhere to send them. Me in the Philippines, what are they going to do? Send them back to me in the Philippines? No, I don't think so. So I need to be very, very careful with respect to getting my package correctly completed before it goes off. Now that includes all. I have the option to get FBA to label my products. So tick that box. That's always well worth doing because then you know the FBA will accept them because they've been prepared by them. Make sure that you've got any plastic bags. Make sure your plastic bags have the warning sign on them, suffocation symbols. I had that conversation with someone this morning. With respect to labeling, make sure that you get the correct labeling. Once you're doing your shipment plan within Seller Central, just download the information, and send it over to your supplier. If your supplier is used to sending products into Amazon, they will know what to do. If they don't, then get a third-party freight forwarder that knows what they're doing. Okay, there's someone in the group that went through all sorts of problems with respect to my supply and got a clue what they're doing. You know, so what label? Just send it where? You know, it's like this. They don't know what they're doing. If you're working with a company that send products into America, into FBA, into Amazon, they will know the process. If not, my recommendation is spend a little bit more, potentially a little bit more money, work with a freight forwarder, someone like Will Williams at Freightio, someone like sort of my old contact, Suzanne. They send products into FBA every single day. Consequently, I just send them the information. I say, right, pick my products up here and prep it for FBA. Job done. I don't need to touch it. I don't need to stress about it. It's just done for me. Okay, so get that in there, make sure it's fit and ready to go. Right, once that's on the way, now you can start your launch process. Now your launch process obviously starts with giveaways. Make sure you know how to do your one-time only promo codes. Don't get caught out like a lot of people do when they're doing this for the first time. Set the code up wrong. Publish the code, everybody gets hold of the code, and everybody buys your product for $1 or $1.99 or whatever you're selling at, and wipes you out. Your stock is gone within minutes.
Hey, and guess what? We made a video for you and shows you exactly how to do it. And if you're not confident in that, I suggest for your first product, you don't even worry about it, and you go do it through Amazon Promo Central. Because it's set up and done. There's a no-brainer. Don't put yourself in a position where you could even screw it up because you can't afford it. So go spend a little bit of money. I think it's $50 and have AMZ Promo Central do your giveaways for you. And you have a landing page, you have everything you need, and you need to click a button. You're done in 3 minutes.
Yeah, whatever you're doing, just don't get wiped out. You know, I've heard stories and I read stories, and a lot of this in the early days, and this is with the ASM guys. You know, so ASM guys are getting wiped out. 3,000 stock gone. in a day, in an afternoon, before I could get back home and turn off my promo. It's like the whole lot had gone, because he set it up wrong, or forgot to tick a little box, or ticked a little box where he shouldn't have done. So basically, once you've got that, start to send out your products. Assuming your product's actually in and up and running and live now, start to send out promo products for reviews. Now, again, we talk about this and we've talked about it. TOS has changed. Amazon have changed the game with respect to a year ago, to 6 months ago. It was quite easy back in the day to blast out 100 reviews a day. Send out 100, send out 1,000 products, bully your way onto page one because you've given all of these products away. So I know someone that used to do that. They used to send out 2,000 a day because that's the game they were in. That they're a long-term seller. I'm not in that position. I want to assume that the majority of people here are not in that position anyway. So, and it's good that Amazon have changed that, because it stops these bullies that are able to do that, doing it and bullying their way onto page one. Do the drip feed. Do 5 a day. Do 5 every other day. So just do it a slowly approach.
Hey,
so go on.
And remember, one of my strategies is to make sure that so if I do the giveaway on Monday and Tuesday, people hopefully will start getting it by Thursday and Friday, and get what I call that upward swing towards the weekend, when the most sales usually occur, which is Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. By the way, is a great day, because what happens is people put a lot of stuff in their cart and let it sit there till Monday, and they check out on Monday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you get that upswing in your sales by doing your giveaways or your promotional items. Will get you some upswing with BSR over the weekend, which hopefully result in more sales, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. So you want to start your giveaways on Monday or Tuesday and not on Thursday or Friday, because the result's going to be down the road. So you need to start early in the week so they start coming through at the end of the week. Just a tip.
Yeah, and a great tip, because it works. And we've got some history on that, and it does work. So get people when they're in the right mood, and you get the right results come through. So basically, the aim there is to get 10 to 12 reviews, and then you can turn on pay-per-click or the sponsored ads within Amazon. Okay, so then you can obviously start this on a slowly basis. Again, there's no point in setting your budget to 1,000 a month or 100 a day or something crazy like that. Start with $5 a day. Check it out. Make sure it's working. Make sure that your ad's working. Make sure it is being seen. Are you getting any conversions? If you are getting some results, up it. Make sure your conversion rate is on the positive side, not like I used to be on the negative side. What I mean by that is, if you're spending $1, make sure you're getting some return on that. Make sure it's not a way, make sure you're not spending $10 to get $1. Make sure it's the other way around. If you spend $1, I want $2 back. Or at least $1.50.
Hey, you know what you want? You listen. I'm okay with you spending $1 and getting $1 back.
Yeah, that works. But don't spend $10 and only get $1 back.
Right, that's just a promotion.
Correct, because it gets things going. Once you start to get visibility, once you start to get eyeballs on your product, you will start to get the organic sales. Okay, then it's always a good idea to go back a few steps within this process and just do a few more promos. Now, what's your strategy on there, Rob?
With what now?
I'll run a promo every month, right?
Oh, yeah. I don't believe you should ever quit running promos.
Yeah. So, so just because you've done it to start with and you manage to get those 10 to 12 reviews, and that does give you I guess it's an artificial spike within your BSR, simply because you're getting that traction. But if you come off of those promos, it's then down to the organic, and it's 9 times out of 10, it's going to come down again a little bit before it picks up again. Well, but it's do the promo every month, so you just get that little blip. it's not a bad thing to do. Go on, Rob.
Oh, I lost my train. Go ahead. I'll get
No,
back
no.
to it one second.
Okay. So basically, that is the overall process. Now, I know there's very, very broad brushstrokes within each of these boxes, and there's a lot to do with each of these steps. But that's basically how you start and how you get to turning on advertising. Now, obviously, there's an awful lot more you can do with respect to advertising outside of Amazon, which I haven't touched on there, which I'm not planning on touching within this flow chart. And that's another beast which we may well touch on later on. But this is it. This is basically the steps you need to follow. And if you follow these steps, now take each of these steps or each of these process steps, and each one of these process steps, we have training on each of them. Okay, so if you're looking at initial research, manual research, AmazSuite, ASIN Inspector, go into the library, have a look at all of the training in there, and they'll tell you how to do it. You know, so a short list. There's a spreadsheet in there to put your short list in. Generate a listing. How do I do that? Well, guess what? Yeah, we teach you how to do that. There's information in there. Now, listing, we've broken it down into titles, into bullet points, into images, into description, yeah, into keywords. So all of this is broken down. That's what I'm saying. This flow chart is very broad brush, top level, but each of the steps is backed up within the library with additional training. And obviously, you get stuck on anything, PM either Rob or myself will reach out within the boot camp group, and I'm sure, absolutely guarantee that we'll be able to get some sort of information or answer or get you going if you're stuck. So I hope that little flow chart works. The first time you've seen it, yeah, it should help.
I remember
okay
what
with
my
that,
point
good.
was.
Yeah, go on.
I remember my point. My point had to do with keywords and pay-per-click. So one of the things I try to employ is that I try to go by words from the bottom up instead of from the top down as far as the amount of searches. So I want to get searches where something's being searched 250 or 500 times a month. I want to buy those smaller keywords. I want to dominate that. So every time someone looks for that keyword that only gets 500 searches a month, I want to be on page 1 because I can be on page 1. Because if I'm specifically targeting those, keywords, I'm specifically targeting those keywords in my listing, and I'm looking for that. So I like to split up certainly my keywords in my listing between some of the higher end ones, but I want to really try to get what I call long tail keywords. And that long tail keyword is that your keywords need to be in the exact order in which they're searching, so there's 100% match. If it's the same order, then there's 100% match. Now, I'm not saying it doesn't match if you have it out of order, and you only can do so many of these in order, but pick the ones that you want to rank for and try to own that one particular keyword. Even if it only has 500 searches a month, who cares? There's money in those 500 searches a month. So get your little share of that 500 and build 4 or 5 of those. It's the same as somebody having a 10,000 word or searches a month. So that's just another tip that I have.